Remind me never to touch a Kong's golden bananas ever again. What's up, everybody? My name is the Skyward Soldier, and welcome back to Nostalgia Glasses. It's been a few months. A lot has happened in my life. I'd rather not go into that just right at this moment. But we are finally back. We're finally at the season finale of Season 2. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too, because I think this is going to be a good one. I really do. In fact, you might see a little bit of a hint somewhere in the background for what Season 3 has to offer. But for now, let's get into DK64. When you think of Donkey Kong, you probably picture barrels, mines, and occasionally the occasional slap fight with King K. Rool. But in 1999, Rare dropped a game that didn't just raise the bar for the series, but it buried it under a mountain of collectibles. Donkey Kong 64 is infamous. It's loved. Quite frankly, it's hated. It's a lot. But today we're dusting off our expansion pack, collecting some golden bananas, and diving into the jungle fest that is DK64 to find out if it's a golden banana or just monkey business.
Here we go.
Released in November of 1999, Donkey Kong 64 was Rare's first full 3D platformer starring the Big Ape. It followed in the footsteps of Banjo-Kazooie, but instead of a double act, you get a full roster of 5 playable characters, and yes, you do need that expansion pack. Officially, it was for technical reasons, but unofficially, it became the stuff of Playground legend.
I've been waiting a long time for this moment. Soon, Donkey Kong and his frustrated island will be no more.
The plot, classic DK nonsense. K. Rool's back with a weaponized island fortress of all things, and he's got some serious Wile E. Kong energy. He kidnaps the Kong family, and it's up to DK to rescue his crew, gather a jungle's worth of collectibles, and punch K. Rool's oversized chin back to Crocodile Isle. It's a classic Rare plot. Something gets stolen, someone gets kidnapped, and your job is to fix it by grabbing every shiny object in sight. It's basically, it's a cartoon intervention. DK64 puts 5 Kongs at your disposal, each with unique moves, weapons, and musical instruments, and yes, each Kong has their own color-coded collectibles. That's important. Or painful. Sometimes both. Donkey Kong is strong and simple. He can pull switches, shoot coconuts, and he plays the bongos. Diddy Kong is fast and agile, flies around with his jetpack, shoots peanuts out of his pop guns, and shreds on the guitar. Lanky Kong is definitely the weirdest of the bunch. He can inflate like a balloon, walks on his hands, has great reach, and he's just a silly little Kong. Tiny Kong can shrink down, ponytail twirls, and shoots feathers out of her crossbow. She's kind of my main character. I like playing as her. Chunky Kong is big, slow, and hilarious. He can lift the heavier things, punches things out, and he plays the triangle. Yes, the triangle. The most musical of all instruments. Each Kong is uniquely memorable, and they feel distinct, but the game constantly makes you switch between them at designated barrels. There's no hot swapping. You'll enter a room as DK and see a Diddy only switch, exit, backtrack, switch Kongs, re-enter, do it again for Lanky. This is the game in a nutshell. But it's still fun. DK64 is the quintessential collectathon. Every level tasks you with collecting 5 golden bananas per Kong, 100 color-coded bananas per Kong, banana medals, blueprints, crowns, coins, fairies, and keys. It's like Rare wanted to turn your inventory screen into a spreadsheet. Booting up Donkey Kong 64 as a kid was like opening the biggest toy box imaginable. 8 massive worlds, each with their own theme, music, and secrets. It felt endless. Magical. Like the game would never run out of things to show me, and in a way, it didn't. But as I've gotten older, that endless feeling has taken on a whole new meaning. Rare built these levels to impress, and they do. Jungle, desert, water, forest, ice caves, a haunted castle. It's a dream lineup. Each one is colorful, full of life, and just dripping with personality. But here's the thing. They're huge. Not in a, wow, so much to discover way, but in a, why am I running across 3 football fields just to grab a coin way. And quite honestly, as a kid, that never bothered me. I loved running around, getting lost, finding something new around every corner. As an adult, I realized how much of that something new was actually locked behind stuff I couldn't do yet. The game doesn't guide you through a level. It drops you in the middle of a sprawling space and says, good luck, you'll be back later, and you will be. Over and over again. This is what makes DK64's levels so fascinating. They're both brilliant and frustrating at the same time. On one hand, they're filled with that signature Rare charm, goofy enemies, whimsical music, and clever little gimmicks like Fungi Forest, Day-Night Cycle, or Creepy Castle's Haunted Halls. On the other hand, the design often feels like it was built by 5 different people who just didn't talk to each other. Each Kong has their own exclusive collectibles and abilities. It just means you're constantly going to the tag barrels to swap characters, backtracking and mentally mapping out what you can't do yet. And sure, the design encourages exploration, but it also pads the game out like crazy. I used to think DK64 was this grand adventure. Now I sometimes think it's just a really colorful to-do list disguised as one. What's wild is how my perspective has flipped. Back then, I didn't care about efficiency. I cared about the world. The sheer joy of discovering a hidden cave or unlocking a new area kept me glued to my N64 for hours. Today, however, I do notice the flaws. The empty stretches, the constant interruptions, the artificial lengthening of the gameplay. But despite that, I still feel something when I revisit these levels. Yes, it's nostalgia, but also admiration. Because underneath the bloat is genuine creativity. These worlds are ambitious in a way few platformers dare to be, and when they click, they really click. Throughout each world, you're given a boss fight to fight with one specific Kong. Highlights include an armed armadillo, a giant jack-in-the-box, and even a pufferfish that shoots fireballs at you. But then there are the mini-games. From spinning turtles to stealth missions to... beaver bother. They can go from charming to hair-pulling really fast. Even when I'm not playing Donkey Kong 64, I can hear it. The soft rustle of Jungle Jape's opening theme, the playful marimba in Fungi Forest, and the ominous hum of Creepy Castle's organ. The music isn't just background noise, it is the world. Grant Kirkhope's score is what ties DK64's sprawling, sometimes disjointed levels into something cohesive. Rare had this incredible knack for writing music that wasn't just catchy, but atmospheric. Music that told you exactly how to feel before you even knew what was ahead. One of the most impressive things about DK64's soundtrack, which does often go unnoticed, is just how reactive it is. Many tracks subtly change depending on where you are in a level. In Jungle Japes, the music shifts from light and breezy open fields to darker and more percussive when you enter a cave. Gloomy Galleon's theme transforms completely when you dive underwater, becoming this echoing, almost mournful tune that makes you feel the vast emptiness of the ocean. It's the kind of detail you don't consciously notice as a kid, but as an adult, it's mind-blowing how much effort went into making these worlds feel alive. And honestly, every level's theme isn't just memorable, it's right. Angry Aztecs' bouncy tribal beats make the desert feel active rather than barren. Frantic Factory's mechanical clanks and eerie xylophone notes create this unsettling funhouse gone wrong vibe. Fungi Forest theme might be one of the most beautiful Rare ever wrote. A tune that captures both daytime whimsy and nighttime mystery with a single melody. Even Creepy Castle, arguably the game's most divisive level, benefits from one of the best haunted tracks in gaming. That slow, echoing organ, pure atmosphere. As a kid, these tracks burned into my brain. I would hum them walking to school, tap them out on desks, and now, when I hear them again, they bring me right back. Not just to the game, but to the feeling of discovering something new on an N64 screen. It's proof that, flaws aside, DK64's world worked. I didn't love it because it was perfectly designed. I loved it because it felt like a place worth being in, and the music was the glue that held it all together. Donkey Kong 64 is like an overstuffed piñata. It takes forever to break open, but when it does, you're not sure if you got candy or a concussion. Its ambition is its biggest strength and its worst enemy. It's a love letter to platformers, written in all caps with 13 footnotes and banana-scented ink. And with that, that's the finale of Season 2 of Nostalgia Glasses. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry it was such a long wait. This is a big game, and like I said, I had a lot of stuff going on in my life. I wanted to get this done before DK Bonanza came out. I obviously failed. I've been playing the crap out of DK Bonanza as well. Another huge collectathon game. At least you don't have 5 different color golden bananas for each Kong. You just have your one Kong for that one. But with that, Season 2 is over. I'm happy and sad at the same time. Season 1 was an amazing experimental time for Nostalgia Glasses. Season 2 was also a pretty experimental time for Nostalgia Glasses. But now, we're heading into Season 3, probably in a few months. Just need to take a little break from Nostalgia Glasses, get prepared for Nostalgia Glasses Season 3. Season 3 is going to be the season of collectibles. I know, we just finished a big old collectible game, but that's what this video is about, was to introduce us into Season 3, where we check out even more collectathons. I'm sure you can probably tell just looking at the background what games we're going to be looking at. We're going to have a few games from the same series, a few games not from the same series, but you know what I mean. But with that, guys, I've been the Skyward Soldier. Thank you for watching Nostalgia Glasses, and we'll see you guys in Season 3.